Alongside the two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden, I'm your host, Joe Musso. B-Mac, I want to take you right back to that moment and that play. We're going to take a look at the tape, but it comes down to personnel, play call, and pass.
Yeah.
Where was your issue with that final play for Tyler Goodson? Because this one, it's going to linger for some time when you're thinking about how the 2023 season came to a close for the Colts.
You know what? I have no issue with the play design, the play call. Clearly, it was open. It was there. You would like to get a better throw, a better pass from Gardner Minshew, but that's a catchable play for Tyler Goodson. The issue that I have, Joe, is Tyler Goodson is your third option at the running back position. You just paid a handsome ransom to Jonathan Taylor earlier in the year because he was deserving of that type of contract.
Dealing with a foot and an ankle in this scenario could have impacted the decision.
Could have, and if that's the case, Zach Moss, who filled in rather nicely when Jonathan Taylor wasn't there, was another option. And if you look at the opportunities when it comes to being a receiver, Zach Moss, 13 ball games, 27 receptions. Jonathan Taylor, 9 ball games, 17 receptions. You know how many catches Tyler Goodson had on the year this season? 6. 6. Now, mind you, he was a guy who was sparingly used in this ball game as well. So you're just bringing him in off the shelf, extremely cold, not in a rhythm of flow of the ball game because he was doing more standing on the sideline than participating, and you're telling him, we're coming to you. We're calling your number. We're dialing up your number for the most important play of this ball game. And like I stated earlier, he's your third option at the running back position. If Jonathan Taylor health-wise wasn't where it needed to be for that particular play, okay, what about Zach Moss? Because Zach Moss has shown the ability to be a reliable runner, but outside of that, a reliable catcher out of the backfield, and he's been more involved in the passing game than Tyler Goodson. So, of course, Tyler is probably going to be overly criticized for making that drop. But me personally, if I'm going to call a number, Jonathan Taylor has to tell me, Coach, I can't go. And remember, that flow, that last drive, who was the bell cow in the backfield?
JT taking it up the field.
Who was receiving the ball? Jonathan Taylor. So if you're telling me he couldn't give me one more play, okay, cool. I'm going to go to Zach Moss. I'm not going to a young player who hasn't really been in the flow of the ball game because you're telling him he has to be the man to deliver.
Yeah.
He's not. He hasn't been able to handle that role. That role wasn't even set up for him. So that's the issue that I have. As I said, the play design, it was on point. It was executed. If he makes the catch, not only does he convert the first down, he potentially could score. He had blockers in front of him. I just don't like who the ball was going to. When you had 2 other reliable guys that can catch the football out of the backfield standing on the sideline. That didn't make any sense for me.
You know, Gardner Minshew's going to stand there and say, ball's got to be better. You know, Goodson's going to say, I got to catch it. But the personnel is really the head scratcher. Maybe a little bit too much window dressing, a little too cute.
Got too cute. Go to your guys, man. Go to your guys.
It was clean football on both sides throughout this. It's unfortunate that a season has to end that way. This is how it ends for Indy. No playoffs. And this feels like just the beginning for Houston, Mac. And maybe that's a little bit bigger picture. I don't know about this season, but this is just the beginning for this franchise and this quarterback. Your impressions of C.J. Stroud with a win-and-in, loser-go-home moment. I mean, how did he perform in your eyes?
He was... Oh, my, he was spectacular.
Yeah.
We watched this game together, and I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way me and Joe and the rest of the staff felt watching this game here in the building. I stood up a lot watching him throw passes. I stood up a lot watching him under duress still stand firm and comfortable in the pocket and delivering accurate passes. I stood up a lot just seeing how cool, calm he was. When things seemed to be a bit, you know, uncomfortable, guess what he did? I got this. Everything is okay. He had so many Moosai moments during this ball game when usually you want to say, oh, no, what's going on? It's getting a little hot in the kitchen. No, Moosai.
I like Moosai.
And that's what you need from your quarterback. You know, it reminds me a lot, his personality, his quarterback personality, quarterback DNA reminds me a lot of Joe Cool. Because he's always cool. And that's what we saw for a young quarterback in his rookie year to be able to take a franchise that was dead in the ground I mean, dirt was already over.
3 consecutive seasons of 12-plus losses, and you are heading to the postseason behind a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach.
And this is a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach who you don't really want to see.
No.
Because it doesn't matter if they have to go on the road. They believe they can win ball games because their quarterback believes. I mean, some of the passes that we watched today, it was magnificent. And the best sign that you have a quarterback that's going in the right direction, if he has the ability to make other players look better.
Yeah.
Who was Nico Collins before CJ Stroud? A guy who was trying to find his rhythm in the National Football League as a wide receiver.
Yep.
He is a guy now. He is a wide receiver 1 now. When you look at some of the other guys that they didn't have Noah Brown tonight, right? No Tank Dell, of course, he's out for the year. They had so many guys that were just coming into the lineup to try to contribute, and guess what? It didn't matter because C.J. Stroud said, I got you guys. It doesn't matter who I'm throwing the football to. If you do your job, you know I'm going to do my job, and I would do it time and time and time again. Mike Tomlin, one of the best Mike Tomlinisms that I love hearing him say, make routine plays happen routinely. That's what C.J. Stroud did today. And usually some of these plays, some of these throws that we saw, they're not routine plays because you got to have a great arm. I mean, to do it.
2nd and 13, high red, deep in.
Falling back.
Loses his back foot and still has the arm strength to put that one in there.
And he's just, like I said, he has so many moose-side moments. The crowd was going crazy. It was 3rd and 20. It's 2nd and 18. The stability here. Moose-side. He is the type of player where the coaches might get a little nervous on the sideline. He tells the coaches, well, calm down, coach. We got it. Give me the play. That's when you look at a guy and say, man, this is big time.
It's cold.
We are right.
He's one of those dudes, and he has stated himself as such through the football we've seen him play this year. We were just looking at the passing numbers. You got to think the record's his, if not for that concussion and the 2 games that it cost him.
264 tonight, 2 touchdowns. Joe, only 6 incompletions.
It was spectacular. And only amplified by the moment where you know your season is over if you don't go down and put that ball in the end zone the way they did on that drive. Just the 5th time in NFL history that a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback duo are headed to the playoffs in that first season. We do need to talk about the head coach and DeMeco Ryans as well, because this was a defensive effort that at moments really flashed. Second half, Indy sort of fell into their groove and dictated the pace of this game a little bit. But for DeMeco Ryans to have led this group to the playoffs off of all that you talked about, the scar tissue, the wounds, the seasons before this, for this quarterback and this head coach to have come together and done what they've already accomplished this year. I mean, it could end abruptly in the playoffs. That's how things go. But to look back at this season for the Texans, like, you can only feel one way about the future.
You got to feel super hyped. You need to be happy if you cheer for the Houston Texans, because you could be the Carolina Panthers. They had a new head coach in year 1. He is no longer there. The dysfunction that we're seeing with the Carolina Panthers is it's nothing like what you guys are.
It could be your reality.
Enjoying right now. They're in Houston. So that's the first thing you need to appreciate, because it looks like the organization got it right in 2 ways. Your head coach, a guy who is a leader of men, instantly showcased what kind of coach he is, and he will be moving forward.
You saw the juice on the sideline. You said
I love the juice. I need a coach, me personally, and the same can be said for fans. When you're cheering and rooting for your team, sometimes it's great to have a coach that is involved. He's emotional. You see him clapping up, getting guys on the sideline. Let's go, we got this. You saw how animated he was in that final drive, right? You saw him throughout the floor of the ball game, going to the sideline, talking to the guys in the trenches when they seemed like they couldn't get a stop on Jonathan Taylor. I love that, because we feed off that momentum. So you got it right with the head coach. Secondly, you got it right at the quarterback position. And I remember a year ago around this same time, there were a lot of fans that were feeling some type of way about Lovie Smith and what he did in that final ball game. But actually, Lovie gave you guys a great gift, a great opportunity, because if it wasn't for Lovie Smith, who knows what you guys would have done at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Because clearly you got a guy that fits your mantra, the foundation, what you guys want to be as a quarterback, as a team led by your quarterback and the head coach. So this, like I said, man, to answer your question, how should they feel, Joe? Just look at what's going on with Carolina.
I think some of those things can be said about Indianapolis as well, not to the extent or the grandeur of Houston right now, but I think you got it right with the head coach. And
I agree.
Small sample size, but you may have gotten it right with the quarterback as well. We'll see what Anthony Richardson looks like with a healthy campaign next year, because that is going to be a big question to ask. But maybe sitting, waiting, studying, getting the game from that point of view will help him moving forward. But I want to talk to you about Shane Steichen, because this was a team that also got up off the mat, better than 500 season. Now, you do fall short of the playoffs by just a couple of yards and an incomplete pass, but your impression of Shane Steichen in year one was what?
I mean, I think he did a great job, considering the things he had to endure as a rookie head coach, not having your best offensive player, Jonathan Taylor, for the first 4 weeks, right, dealing with that whole situation, contractually speaking, and then losing your rookie quarterback, especially right around the time when he was really starting to showcase his skill set, his athleticism at the quarterback position. In comes Gardner Minshew, a guy who's been around for quite some time. Of course, he understood Gardner and the type of player he was because he was there with him in Philly. And then you still found ways to kind of be relevant and then, most importantly, compete for a playoff spot tonight. So you look at their roster, you hopefully believe you get your quarterback back. He should be healthy. You know, you add a piece here or there. You have to sign Michael Pittman Jr. I think he's shown that he is a wide receiver one. You know, Zach Moss as a reliable backup. Kenny Moore, clearly one of the more difference makers in the secondary. And they have some money to play with, because you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie you will have a quarterback still currently in the midst of his rookie contract. So, in their division, let's keep it real, we don't really. It will be wide open once again.
There are scarier places to be.
Exactly, exactly. So it's not like the AFC South is the gauntlet of death. You know, the window should be there for them. So he did a phenomenal job, because we see so many times, Joe, when teams lose their starting quarterback, everything goes downhill. There's no hope for them. Gardner Minshew stepped in, the guys rally around Gardner Minshew, and they had opportunity to win, to get into the playoffs. Unfortunately, they lost, and they lost in a play that could have been easily converted.
Just agonizing. Those are ones that you don't get over, whether you're a fan, a player, whatever your point of view is. That is a tough way for the season to end. But about that division, last year to this one, there's a new team in town, and they could be the division champions, barring the result.
There are a lot of folks will be rooting and cheering for the Tennessee Titans tomorrow.
We'll see how it plays out. Depending on how things shake out, Houston could be your 4 as a division champion, or a 6 or a 7. I'll tell you this, whoever gets them is going to have to game plan for that quarterback. We got a game plan for Sunday.
Check us out.
Me and Mac sitting down, breaking it down each and every game. When they go final, we come up, highlights, reaction, and post-game sound you'll only get right here on CBS Sports HQ. Podium after a devastating loss.
Extremely disappointed on the way things ended there. You know, proud of our guys, the way they fought. You know, the fans, they came out and they showed out for us, and obviously wanted to, you know, get a win for our fans as well. But just disappointed on the way it ended. But again, extremely proud of the way our guys fought all year.
Question, the first possession, was that a miscommunication between the special teams and offense that allowed Matt to come out and allow that?
No, that was a planned. That was a design play.
Was that?
That was designed.
Shane, can you walk us come out? Yeah, why did you ever come out with that one play? You carried the ball 7 times in a row. Was his ankle okay? What happened?
Yeah, he was all right. The play we had up, we had to look for it. It was man-to-man coverage, you know, and just it didn't work out.
But you did run it with Tyler Hill. Why was that the choice?
Obviously, we called timeout there. It was 4th and 1. We saw the front they were in. We liked the look for that play in that situation.
So he had practiced that play, though?
Correct. Felt good about Goodson in that situation. He's a pass catcher for us out of the backfield, and that's what we went with. Yeah, we would have had him in there for something, but we could have done something. Yeah, obviously, if it doesn't work, you know, you're going to second guess it. So I understand that, and that's part of the business.
Hey, from what you saw, was it a catch he should have made or a throw that should have been better?
I got to look at it. It was bang bang. I mean, from our side, it was on the other sideline. So, yeah.
Jonathan came back into the game. What exactly happened?
He got an ankle, foot. Yeah, ankle, foot, and he came back. Yep.
Taking the time out there that limited you to get the ball back. Was there a thought to not taking the time out on 4th down and potentially having 2 timeouts?
Yeah, no, really wanted to see the look to get in a call that we thought would work in that 4th down situation. That was basically it.
Shane, what kind of message do you give these guys after a game like that, a season like this?
Obviously, everyone's disappointed, extremely disappointed. But, you know, really proud of the guys, the way they fought all year and battled. You know, I always think about this. Sometimes in life, you don't know why things happen. You know, winning and losing is part of this game. You learn from it, you grow from it. And, you know, the guys that are come back, just remember this feeling in the locker room, coaches included.
What did you say about the disappointing John carried you all throughout?
Yeah, I didn't see the final stats, but shoot, he ran it hard. Obviously, had the 50-yard touchdown there. That was huge. He ran hard. You know, offensive line did a heck of a job. I think we had a ton of yards on the ground this game. Credit to the guys up front. Just, you know, didn't get it done.
Did you think he was coming back out when he went to the locker room? Did you think he was going to be able to play?
I didn't know. I was just listening to the doctors and seeing what they said.
What was the shift in the second half that allowed you guys to have success?
I think we popped a few runs. You know, obviously we were playing the field position battle there early, you know, backed up, trying to get it out of there. Had some 3-and-outs, weren't converting on third down. And then we popped that big run with JT to get it going and got some momentum there, hit the 2-point play to tie it up, and then that was it.
Shane, on defense, they had two, I don't say uncontested, but the one down the other end was uncontested. Then the deep ball, where there was no safety help, were those busts from your perspective?
I'll go back. Obviously, they hit the one, and, you know, we were in a shell defense, and shoot, he flew over the top of it on a post route. So I'll go back and look.
What do you see the issues in defending Nico Collins?
Yeah, I mean, we knew he was a good player going into the game. You know, they were down Tank Dell and a couple guys, and Nico's a really good player. And shoot, we knew guys, you know, really good players in this league are going to make plays, and you just got to, you know, control those plays so they don't, you know, get out of hand. But I thought our defense fought like crazy. You know what I mean? They had some good stops there. Obviously, the big play on the first drive, that was that. And then, you know, we held them pretty good. And shoot, offensively, you know, it starts with myself. We got to be better.
Shane, what's the calculation on that fourth down play where you do have a good play drawn up and it was there? But then what's the calculation with, you know, putting the ball in the hands of the guy who carried you all night, too? I'm sure that has to be tempting as well, right?
100%. There's a lot of thoughts going through in that situation on the timeout. Like I said, saw the look from that play. Thought it was going to be great. Got the look. Didn't happen for us.
And I guess you do feel somewhat justified because it was there. It's just an execution there.
Yeah, and I understand that. And I take full responsibility when plays don't work. Starts with myself. You know, if we hit them, they're great, right? And if we don't, obviously it's going to get questioned, and I completely understand it.
So the scoring drive, is that just literally kind of getting tip of your hat to Stroud when you got hit and makes a throw over the middle?
Oh, yeah, that play he made was incredible. We had tight man coverage, nowhere to throw it. Makes a heck of a play. I mean, hats off to them on that play for sure.
Hey.
How's that feel?
It feels awesome. All glory, honor, and praise goes to God, man. It's just blessed us throughout this entire season. Our team has been humble and worked, fought right behind the scenes, and I think it means a lot to our guys to get, you know, this spotlight today, and, you know, just to come away with a gritty win, really gritty win. Wasn't our best performance, but it was gritty. It was tough, and it was a special performance. Our guys stood up, made the plays when we needed to make plays. CJ and Nico, they stole the show. It's an awesome job by two of our, you know, best playmakers. And Nico, we needed him most today, and he showed up big time for us, made a ton of big plays, and is the reason why we won this game.
Nico, what were your thoughts on that first touchdown after Indy kicked that opening field goal, first play? Great throw, great catch.
Oh, yeah, awesome throw, awesome catch, something we had been working. And, you know, when Bobby called it, I was like, oh, here it is. So just credit to Nico, right, and CJ for also, man, great ball placement and putting that ball exactly where it needed to be, and Nico going up and making that catch. And I have been telling Nico, hey, he's been catching a lot of deep ones, but he's been stumbling and falling and not getting in the end zone. This time, stayed up and got in the end zone. Biggest play of the year for him.
You showed up in the locker room.
I wouldn't be really taken in the moment of what happened. What were you thinking as you guys come to
Yeah, just during that moment, I was just thankful, really thankful for this, to be in this position, right? Thankful for our guys and the way they fought, like everything that we've been throughout the entire year, just taking it all in and been through a lot of ups and downs. For us to grind through the season and find a way, right, to get an opportunity in the playoffs, it's a special moment, one I always remember. And it was a moment just of gratitude.
About CJ Stroud's performances, probably nothing surprises you at this point, but the way he moved engaged, and thoughts on kind of him being able to do this in a work.
Yeah, CJ, he doesn't surprise me. Right, we've talked about it earlier in the week with CJ just being special in these big-time moments when we needed most to step up and make plays. He's done it time after time throughout the entire year. So I don't think it's not surprising to anyone. That's who he is. Right? He's one of the best passers in his league, and he shows it consistently game in and game out.
You mentioned last week after when you said that you're the guy that talked about we didn't come this far just to get this far. How satisfying was it that there were all kinds of things that happened in this game, but you finished the deal. You finished.
And that's what's special about it, right? We didn't come this far just to get this far. Like, guys, they wanted it. Our guys wanted this opportunity, and they went out and had the determination to go and make it happen, right? It wasn't easy. It was a tough team. Indy is a really good football team, well-coached team. They played an unbelievable game. And to go up against a really tough opponent and come out with the win, right, it's special. And it says a lot about our group.
You mentioned that CJ and Nico stole the show. What was it about that dynamic duo that was able to kind of carry the offense to the win?
Right, they were in sync. We're missing a lot of guys. Missing Robert, we're missing Noah, we're missing Tank, missing a ton of receivers. And we know Nico is, our go-to guy, our playmaker. And for them to step up and make plays when we need it most, right, it's that special connection. They were in sync all game. They were in sync, and for Nico to have over 195 yards, that's big time. And so I tell him all the time, he's a big time playmaker, and he continues to show it week after week. Right, when he's out there, he's a problem. Right, and he's a tough out for a lot of teams. So happy that he's on our side.
Coach, during the ups and the downs, you have talked about the way that this team just continues to fight, the way that they continue to fight, they never give up. During this game, could you just see that from your players and in their eyes when they coming on and off the field?
I saw it in our guys just in pregame. I felt our energy in pregame. I felt it last night in our team meeting. I felt like our guys had the mindset that we would not be denied. And we knew it would be tough. We knew it didn't matter how long it took, but I just knew, and they knew, they had that quiet confidence about them. And I felt that last night in our team meeting, felt it throughout the entire game, right? Nobody ever wavered. Nobody ever blinked. They knew we would come away with the win.
How important was
got time for a few more, guys.
Two things. 1 of 11 on third down, that's what the Colts were. And then Cashman and Harris, they combined for the football tackle. Harris gets that sack.
Yeah, defense, they stood up. The guys did a really outstanding job on third down. To hold a team to one conversion on third down, that's winning football. So when we needed to make plays, we made plays. Christian and Blake, they both made a lot of tackles, ran around sideline to sideline, made a lot of plays. It's just overall, right, everybody. In the passing game, our secondary did a really good job, right, at keeping the ball in front of them. Just overall, the guys, they gritted it, they grinded it out, right? It wasn't our best performance in the running game, right? We let a few get loose there. Tackling wasn't great, but when we needed to make a play there on 4th and 1, right, to come up with a play, a stop for the game there was huge.
What's next for you guys? What's next for you guys?
What's next?
All right, so the Texans moving on and moving to the postseason, which, when you look at it through the lens of the last 3 seasons, was not a leap expected. I mean, some of the longest Super Bowl odds in the NFL heading into the year, but C.J. Stroud, you could have had the highest expectations. He's exceeded them. D'Amico Ryans is a head coach. Same can be said for the head man who has led this team to a 10-win season and now playoff football. Let's get you back out. Gardner Minshew sounding off after the loss.
Go ahead, Joel. Just take us through that last 4th down play.
Shoot, had a good look, kind of a pick play for Goody. Shoot, I mean, I think it was just a tough play, man. I think there's about 1 million of those, one play, what ifs in that game. I wish I'd have put a better ball on him, giving us a better chance. Yeah, it's a hard way to go, man.
There was a lot of questions about JT not being in there. I know you're not in personnel, but you worked all week that play with that personnel group.
Man, I thought it was a great call, great, perfect look. I'd throw it to Goody a million times over. Like, you know, it's just one of those plays.
So sometimes it does come down to one play.
You know, maybe. You know, 1,000,001 plays, but yeah.
Gardner, he's taking it pretty hard there, like he's saying it's his fault. Have you talked to him at all just about, I don't know, just what he's feeling, what he's thinking, what you think about it?
Yeah, dude, I was just loving him up. You know, I'm equally as responsible for that not working as he is. Like, you know, we all had plays that we could have back just because the last one doesn't really, make it that much more significant. And, man, I told him, I'd go back with him every time. I'd throw that ball every time. Got a ton of trust and faith in him and the player he is and is going to be. He stepped in a tough role and delivered for us this year. Probably won us a game there. So, man, really appreciate him and the player and the guy he is.
JT coming back out, how much did you have to pump that to plan on that?
I mean, that's kind of been, the whole year for him, man. He's battling through one thing or another. But it's days like today where you realize you need a JT, you know what I'm saying? He's that kind of guy. He kept us in that ball game by some of the amazing stuff he was doing. And, for guys like that, you wish you could do more.
Carter, I know, obviously, lost his freshman. What do you think of just your one season here? What you already good?
Man, I couldn't be just more grateful for the opportunity. First with Shane, the faith to bring me here and to give me a chance, and the team kind of rallying around me. Like, I couldn't be more grateful for this year, and the guys in that room. It doesn't feel right that it ends this way, but man, just really, happy to be a part of this group.
All right.
All right. Thank y'all.
Can we go back that way again?
Yep. It was a one-year deal for Minshew in Indy, so the future, we'll see what it holds. Whether it's, again, starting the season as Anthony Richardson's backup or landing elsewhere to offer those services, because top-tier backup play is part of the reason why some of these teams are on this board. Looking at the Browns. Also looking at the Steelers, who, by hook or by crook, could be in. I'll tell you exactly how. They need Titans win over the Jags, and if that doesn't come to pass in the early window, it'll have to be the Dolphins over the Bills for them to stay in that 7 spot.